Sam Hauser makes blunt acknowledgement on Boston Celtics trade rumors. The offseason for the Boston Celtics was filled with speculation. Payroll cuts forced the front office to consider tough decisions, and no one's name was truly safe. Big trades moved Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis, and along the way, even Sam Hauser. Derrick White and Jaylen Brown had their names pulled into the rumor mill. But when the dust settled, the Celtics' core remained intact. And at Media Day, Sam Hauser, now entering his 5th season in Boston, did not avoid the subject. His words were honest and direct. He admitted it is impossible to completely block out trade talk. He said he was prepared for whatever outcome, even being shipped to another team. But he also made it clear Boston gave him the first chance, and he remains grateful to still be here. That gratitude comes from experience. Hauser entered the league undrafted, climbed his way up as a two-way player, and has since become one of the best shooters in the NBA. At 42% from beyond the arc for his career, he was a major piece of the Celtics' 2024 championship run, proving his value in moments when the team needed him most. Even on the defensive end, where teams once tried to target him, he has grown into a dependable presence. Still, the business side could not be ignored. Boston needed to shed salary this summer, and Hauser's name surfaced, despite his affordable contract extension of 4 years and $45 million. That deal is considered a bargain for the production he provides, which only fueled speculation that his value on the market could tempt other teams. Yet here he is, preparing for another season in green. And this year, opportunity has a different shape. With Jayson Tatum sidelined indefinitely due to an Achilles injury, the Celtics will need more than just stability from Hauser. They will need leadership, consistency, and an expanded role on both ends of the floor. Hauser himself admitted it is a chance for players like him to use their voices more, to step into a space once filled by veterans like Al Horford and Drew Holiday. So here is the real question hanging over Boston right now. In a season where Jayson Tatum may not return soon, can Sam Hauser move from reliable role player to cornerstone contributor? And will that be enough to keep the Celtics in contention when the margin for error has never been smaller? At Media Day, Brad Stevens finally explained the logic behind the decision. He admitted it was a tough call, especially since Niang is a Boston native who had openly expressed excitement about playing for the Celtics. But Stevens made it clear the move was not about Niang's talent. It was about roster balance and, above all, financial discipline. When pressed, he pointed out the difference between an $8 million contract and a $2 million minimum deal under the heavy luxury tax penalties. The math was undeniable. Boston needed size, length, and flexibility, and the chance to add Boucher would not wait forever. In Stevens' own words, it just made sense. But the financial maneuvering only tells part of the story. The Celtics are still $12 million above the tax line, and they are dealing with a drastically reshaped frontcourt. Horford has gone to Golden State. Luke Cornett found his way to San Antonio. Porzingis was traded to Atlanta. That left gaps that could not be ignored, and Stevens acknowledged how difficult those phone calls were. He admitted the team made offers, but both players had bigger deals waiting elsewhere, and Boston could not match them. The result is a frontcourt that now leans heavily on Chris Boucher, who revealed that the Celtics had wanted him for years and now expect him to play a significant role. He himself sees this season as an opportunity to prove his value as a veteran and step into a rotation that desperately needs reliability. And here is where the situation becomes even more intriguing. The Celtics are taking calculated risks, trimming salary while betting on new pieces to hold the line. With Jayson Tatum recovering from his Achilles injury, the margin for error has never been smaller. Boston is trusting that the decisions made today will not weaken their chances tomorrow. So the question becomes sharper with every move. Did the Celtics just secure the flexibility they needed to survive a turbulent year? Or did they open the door to uncertainty in a season when stability is the one thing they cannot afford to lose? The Boston Celtics are preparing for a season unlike any other. Less than a month away from opening night, the team faces a reality that looks drastically different from the roster that dominated the last 2 years, with over 60 wins. Injuries, trades, and free agency decisions have left the organization at a crossroads, and the voices coming from the front office reveal just how delicate this moment really is. General Manager Brad Stevens addressed the departures of Al Horford and Luke Kornet during Media Day, and his tone was clear. He said both players had every right to make their own choices, reminding everyone that unrestricted free agency means freedom, not loyalty. Stevens admitted the Celtics made offers to both, but he acknowledged what was obvious. Bigger contracts were on the table elsewhere, and Boston was not in a position to match them. On the surface, it sounds like a front office simply moving on, but the reality runs deeper. Horford, a respected veteran and locker room voice, is now with the Golden State Warriors. Kornet, a reliable backup presence, has joined the San Antonio Spurs, for a team already facing the absence of Jayson Tatum with a torn Achilles. Those exits create more than a gap in the rotation. They leave a void in identity. This leaves the Celtics in a strange and pressing position. If Tatum makes an earlier return, did Boston move too quickly in reshaping the roster? Or was this the exact discipline the franchise needed to sustain its championship window long-term? With opening night against the rival Philadelphia 76ers approaching, the urgency is growing, and the tension around the Garden is unmistakable. So the real question now is unavoidable. With Horford and Kornet gone, Porzingis and Holiday traded, and Tatum's status hovering in uncertainty, are the Celtics quietly entering a transition year? Or are we about to witness one of the most surprising turnarounds in franchise history? The buzz around the NBA is getting louder, and this time, the spotlight is on Derrick White. Reports suggest the Houston Rockets are seriously eyeing the Celtics guard as their answer to a major setback. The reason is clear, with Fred VanVleet sidelined by a severe ACL injury. Houston is scrambling for a reliable replacement, and White's name has jumped to the top of the list. But what does this really mean for Boston? And why is the rumor gaining so much traction now? White is not just another role player. Last season, he proved to be a vital piece of the Celtics machine, averaging more than 16 points, close to 5 assists, and nearly 5 rebounds across 76 games. His shooting efficiency made him one of the most dependable guards in the league, while his defense earned him recognition as one of the top 10 players in the Defensive Player of the Year race. That mix of consistency and grit has made him one of Boston's most trusted options when the stakes rise. From Houston's perspective, this is the type of move that could completely change their trajectory. Analysts point out that White's contract, locked in for 4 more years, gives stability in a market filled with short-term gambles. Brad Botkin from CBS Sports even went as far as calling White the new Drew Holiday, a proven winner and the kind of player who can instantly elevate a roster flirting with contention. For a Rockets team that desperately needs direction, swinging big for White could be the bold step they cannot afford to ignore. The real challenge lies in the cost. The Celtics know exactly what they have in Derrick White, and moving him would only happen for a package too big to dismiss. Houston does have the assets, with promising young names like Jabari Smith Jr., Tari Eason, and Reed Shepherd, along with a stockpile of future draft picks. The question is, will they actually put that on the table? And more importantly, would Boston even listen? So here is the question no one can answer yet. If the call comes and the offer is real, would Boston truly be willing to part ways with Derrick White?